Good morning to everyone, and I have the first session of the day, so I hope that you have coffee and you are waking up. And I would like to start with a question. So this is something I bought yesterday at Primark that is nearby. And so how many of you knows what is this? Yes, correct. And so do you have one? No? Okay. Don't be ashamed. No problem. I'm not going to judge you about having a selfie stick. But the reason why I'm introducing this, I don't have one. I mean, I have one because I wanted to show it to you. And I'm sorry. I felt a bit ashamed as well yesterday when I was buying it. But I thought, okay, I'm not in my city, so I can do. And the reason why I'm showing this, I will explain to you why we shouldn't be so ashamed probably to buy selfie stick and to use it. And I would like to start sharing another personal experience. So I was in New York in January, and it was a few days before the perfect storm. So I arrived for a conference. I just was really bored because I was at JFK. If you went there, you know, a long queue, you wait maybe 30 minutes if you're lucky before your passport is checked. So I was checking in on Swarm, I was sharing my check-in on Twitter, and after a few seconds I got this message from a company called Axalta, I didn't know, and they were offering me a deal. So I was really curious, I just downloaded the app, I checked what they are doing, so they are offering almost a last-minute deal, so you need to book in 24 hours. And what happened next is that the next day I was with 3 friends at Broadway seeing Chicago, because for me it was the first time being at Broadway, with almost some ticket that I bought with more than 50% of discount, not doing any queue. So what's the point? And I think yesterday many of the speakers, they were touching the context and mobile. In this case for me, this message is not a personalized message because the content was almost automatic content, so they simply saw a check-in on Twitter and they are sending it to everyone. But for me, this felt quite personalized because I was bored. It was happening in the right context, in the right moment. And then what happened, the UX was extremely good. It was extremely well done because I could buy my ticket directly from the app in one tap from mobile. And so for me, this was a really, really good experience. That was telling me, okay, you can get conversion even with automated content if it's perceived personalized in the right context, in the right moment. Then I had another experience a couple of weeks ago. I was in Cologne attending a conference called Pirate Summit that is mainly a presentation of innovative startups. And during this conference, it was presented a startup called Sorry as a Service. So those guys, what they do? They are monitoring, they are using all the social data to profile people, so to get all information about what you like, what you don't like, your habit, and so on. And they resell the data to big companies, offering as a service the fact of sending them personalized gift if something goes wrong with the service they should receive. It happened in the meantime that the company was presenting that one of the organizers got a notification that his flight from Air Berlin got cancelled. So obviously the guy was quite concerned because he was not coming back to Berlin the same day. And we did a kind of experiment. We say, why we are not going to tweet to Air Berlin what is happened, and let's go to retweet altogether this, and this tweet got around 137 retweets. So Air Berlin replied to it, again with an automated message saying, okay, sorry for the inconvenience. So this was perceived extremely inappropriate, so the guy was almost furious, saying, okay guys, I mean, I'm telling you I lost my flight. It's not that I lost my flight, I mean, the flight was cancelled, I don't know how to get home. Okay, this was completely wrong. In this sense, okay, probably the right offer will be, okay, what you can do, there are other flights. And what I'm trying to tell to you is that And this is related to data, but as well how to analyze the data to connect it to content. In this case, automatizing the content and deciding what to show in which context could be good. So automatization could be sometime leading to conversion, but there are some cases where it's absolutely something not to be done. So in this case, it's troubleshooting, customer interaction. Absolutely is better being an individual feedback because people, they expect it. And there is as well a reason why people, they expect it. And sometimes is, and we are back to our selfie stick. So it's sometimes something that maybe we don't fully analyze because is almost a given. In the case, I think there are many, many definitions about what digital culture means, and my favorite is the one that is saying that digital culture is the oral culture written down. And what does it mean? So there is this big differentiation between the oral culture that is considered almost before Gutenberg, so before knowledge was transmitted through storytelling, through face-to-face interaction, or sometime as well with books, but writing a book was extremely time-consuming with big effort. So after Gutenberg, then the way of transmitting knowledge was written and completely different. So the importance of really the face-to-face contact, the conversation was much less than in the past. With digital, we are merging these two typologies of culture because if we analyze as well how people interact, the interaction in digital is mainly based on conversation. So people are not there because they want to broadcast, they want to document what they are doing. They are there because they want to share experience, they want to share their stories with other people. So again, when they take picture, they want to communicate. Is something that is much more near to the oral culture than to the written one. And again, if we are reading the experience or the habit of taking selfie or using selfie stick with the framework of the print culture, okay, we will consider people, and this is confirmed to me by the fact that, okay, no, we don't have it, maybe we know what is it, but we are not going to use it because we consider people just doing selfies a bit narcissist, exhibitionist, and so on. If we are reading this with the framework of oral culture, okay, this habit, it takes a completely different meaning. So it means it's a way to tell stories, is a way to express themselves, and is a way as well to share an extremely personalized view and something that is individual, is not something that is coming from a stranger, but is coming from the person himself that is taking the picture. And how this is linked to the data, to, in a way, our trying as well to follow the consumer and to offer a personalized offer. So our mainly digital culture is happening now much, much more on mobile. And I don't think I don't need to share data about how mobile is growing because every one of us has one or two smartphones at least. And each of us is using a smartphone every day. So, and what is happening now, and this is the definition of micro moments, was created by Forrester a couple of years ago. And with micro moments is defined the moment that we are taking decisions. So it means that our mobile phone is not anymore something that is used for communicating, but is something that is leading us and supporting us to take key decisions about what we want to buy, what we want to know, with who we want to interact. So it means that in this case, the personalization is taking completely another meaning. It's not anymore that I'm just going to give you the right message, the right content, because I know that is fulfilling what you like or what you don't like, but it must happen as well in the right context, in the moment where you really want to receive a certain message. And this is a research done by Google, and you can find it as well. If you go and think with Google, you will find the full panel. And they highlighted 4 main micro moments. So people, they want to know, they want to do, they want to go, and they want to buy. And they associated some key activities that are done during this micro moment. So when people, they want to know, and it's extremely interesting, the correlation between the usage of mobile phone and TV commercial. And based on my experience, is really key the usage of Twitter with TV commercial. They want to do as well, this is extremely high percentage, almost 91%, that what they want to do, they are looking for YouTube video explaining how to do something. It could be from a recipe to maybe something a little bit more complex. Want to go, I think this is quite intuitive, you probably do yourself. I want to know what is the good restaurant nearby. I want to know, I'm reading on Foursquare, on TripAdvisor about other peers' review, and then want to buy, people, what they do, they compare price, or they understand where they can buy something, different quality, or sometimes they as well check peer review about what they are going to buy. And what is as well absolutely important and is new is that mobile is harmonizing in a way the experience, because before the consumer experience probably was fragmented, now mobile is offering a continuous flow. You can do everything on your smartphone. And so it's becoming as well, from a point of view of data analysis and so on, probably key and will be much more important in the future. Mobile is one aspect. And there is as well, some people, some speakers were touching the point of wearables as well yesterday. For sure is at the infancy, and for sure when we are thinking about data analysis, is extremely difficult, because it's to be created a framework in many fragmented information. Anyhow, this is something that will touch even more the micro moment. And maybe some of you saw the Apple keynote last week. So during the Apple keynote was presented a really cool application. So, and it was really shown on the stage. And the situation is that there is a future mother that she's going to check how the baby is, what is doing, and she can, through the watch, she can listen the heartbeat of the baby. And this is an amazing moment, so it's really full of emotion. And what she can do, she can record it, so she can share as well with family and friends, and then she can as well send to the doctor, and the doctor can give a feedback about, yes, your baby is okay, don't be worried, do this, and that. And so again, all this information, they contain a lot of data, a lot of real-time information that obviously can be used to send to the consumer the right content and really to engage them with a trigger that was something that we could neither think about probably a few years ago. Again, with the beacon, and I had the chance to install some beacon in some shop, and my experience is that is difficult, so it means that you need to have a really good installation, you need to have a really good triangulation between the different beacons, because one of the risks is that you don't have the right reply, the right behavior when you expect it. And so obviously you have as well not clean up data in a way. So again, it's for sure at this infancy, and you need to work a lot to get something that you can use. But what will happen in the future, and what is the promise, that you can be predictive. So back to the micro moment. So the promise is, I do know my customer. I do know, based on the history of what he was purchasing, what he would like to purchase next time. So maybe I was going in a shop, I was looking at these shoes 1 month before. Now I enter again in the shop, and they're saying, you know, the shoes that you were looking 2 months ago, and now they can get discount. And when I'm near to the item I would like to purchase, I go directly in my phone, a push notification, a personal message that is extremely individual because it's offering something to me. And so at this point, I can be predictive, and I can really influence the buying moment. And I would like to bring your attention, and this is a kind of obvious, but sometimes we don't realize how much activities probably 20 years ago we were doing in a way, and how many we are doing differently, or just in one company. So all our activities that we do daily, so we read, we learn, we do shopping, we look for a job, we date, we play, we pay. And what is happening now is that we do the same activities, but mainly with the biggest player in the online market. And at least, maybe it's different for you, I don't read anymore so much. I mainly Google stuff and then I read. Or if I read through my Kindle. But for me, I do have as well books, but it happens not so often as for me the activity of reading online or through my Kindle. What does it mean? That each one of us is sharing an infinite amount of information, of data, and is something, again, that all of us we know, and sometimes this open up as well doubt about privacy. And if you read some analysis, some research, you will realize that there is a kind of generational gap. So it means that probably I care about privacy. If you talk with millennials or people younger than me, they care much less about privacy because they think that sharing personal information is a fact of modern life, is a consequence of being in social media, is a consequence of sharing what you are doing. And indeed, they do appreciate a lot the brands that are able to interact with them at personal level. So it means that there is no any stigma. So it's not something that you are a bit scared to say, no, should I go? I can be personal. Should I go there? Yes, go there, because probably your customer will appreciate it. Obviously, it should be done in the right way, so not invasive, not probably, even if you can predictive, in a way that is a message that is still acceptable and nice. But indeed, if you can be personal, do it, because it's something that people will appreciate. And then I think the big question, how to benefit of the micro moment, because again, it's something that is at the infancy, and there are still, when we are talking about analysis, a lot of unknown, because it's almost everything new, everything to be built. So here I try to highlight, key area is like the classic one, the who, the what, the where, the why, and the how. And the more difficult part, based on my experience, is the who part. And again, in the latest year, I'm working for big companies. And for instance, it's not the problem of not having data, because you do have many data and you do have many data sources that could come from your social monitoring, from your digital marketing activities, from your CRM, and so on. The problem I encountered is to put together the data in a meaningful way. First, sometimes is collaborate between teams, so to build something that is cross-team, so it's not starting only from the business intelligence department or MRI, but is involving as well all the different departments, and as well to find a framework or to build a framework that really permits to put together all the different information, being sure that you are not going to read the customer in a fragmented way. The second part is the what part, and again is I believe that what is possible and what is the must do are two aspects. The first aspect is the content marketing part, and again tailor-made the message for the want-to-buy moment, and this as consequence when we are talking about advertisement, so all the retargeting word that for sure is again starting. But again, if you look at retargeting, sometimes there is a lot of improvement. What does it mean? That it's probably not profiling the customer fully. I was speaking with a friend of mine yesterday, and he told me, you know, I think I hate retargeting because I'm working with some big clients. I'm working with some cosmetics, but obviously I don't use cosmetics, but retargeting is showing me this just foundation advertisement simply because I check my client website. But it's probably clear from all my data that I'm not a woman and I don't use makeup. So this is just an example that, as well the usage of data, it means are not matched between all the different information that probably you can get as well from social. And another activity in terms of content that is still missing is developing, so you do have a call to action and one content, be sure that you do have multiple content and multiple call to action, keeping in mind that, again, your customer, even in the micro moment, they may want to do different activities and different stuff. And in this case, okay, the classic one is product offer, try to be personalized and offer deal. Another must-have, in my view, is a personalized UX. Sometimes it's more difficult. It means it requires A/B testing. It requires a bit of effort. But again, usually is really paying off. An example of, again, the usage of content and be in the moment is a consequence. So no, it's not targeting your customer in a direct way, but targeting them in an indirect way. And this is an example of Jawbone. So Jawbone has a team of data analysts, and those guys, they spend a lot of time writing in their blogs and sharing their data. And their findings are extremely interesting because in this case, they analyze happiness and the correlation between happiness and sleep, and how you sleep, how many hours, and so on, and they are publishing this information. And I'm sure that each of us in our companies, we do have a ton of information, and sometimes there is we are a bit scared. We say, okay, we can't share this information, you know, maybe are sensitive. Okay, there are some sensitive information that your competitors, they shouldn't know, but other information can bring a lot of value because can create indirectly attraction for your product and as well your data, and can show all the work that you are doing. And again, Jawbone is an example because it's really sharing original content and some valuable information that really they have and few other companies they have. The where part is as well extremely important, and we can divide into areas. One area is related to another classic one, so be sure that you are offering a seamless experience in all the different devices because, okay, as well, myself, yourself, we are working on our laptop, we are checking our mobile, we are using our tablets, so it means that we do expect to have a really similar experience in all the different devices. And when I say seamless, it doesn't mean that the same design or the same UX must be in all the different screens, but really be adapted and being in a way what you should do in the different screen in mobile versus laptop. And as well, the context part, again, is something that the where is taking in consideration where people are where they are doing some activities. And this a really good example is Netflix. And Netflix is really, they are mining the usage data to really extract the behavior or behavioral patterns of their customer. And they analyze a lot of activities and sometimes something that is even not so intuitive because they check the weather, the day of the week, the device type, the news, and they even try to check if they are either other items like smartphone or wearables in close proximity and if they can get data from that. So it means that, again, context is extremely important. It may be that it's not possible to have this precision as Netflix because they are extremely advanced, but at least you can try to get information. And get information, it may be through surveys, through geolocation, and geolocation you can get from the main smartphone, or all the information that you can grab really to personalize your offer. And another key point, and this is more in the why part, is give a reason to come back. So this is my is the screenshot of my Spotify, and it's something that I discovered myself a couple of weeks ago. So they launched this new feature, is that Discover Weekly. And this is a comment, sorry, is in Italian, and I will translate it for you, but I found it extremely funny. So the guy on Facebook commented, okay, Spotify know you so well that it's better that you are listening to your music with your earphone because you could be ashamed about what you are listening, because it's so personal that maybe you don't want to share with other people what are your really taste in terms of music. And I believe it's extremely true, because as well I tried it, and I think, okay, this is really is matching myself so much that Spotify knows me better than myself. So it's incredible, and again, this is matching the data and using them in a good way. And what does it mean? They create an habit. So if I have this good experience that I don't need to select the music, but I have already my playlist of what I like already there, I will go back daily or at every time that I want to listen music. And the key point is close the loop and use data to decide. And I remark it because sometimes it doesn't happen, or it happens till a certain level. And another classic example of it is Netflix and House of Cards. And this is a quotation from Kevin Spacey, and what he's saying, okay, he was proposing House of Cards to different producer in a way, to different station, and Netflix was the only one that was saying, yes, we believe in you, we were running our data, and we do know that your show will be a success. So we don't need to run a pilot. And you know what is House of Cards and how much it was successful. And what I'm trying as well to tell you, because sometimes there is, and I'm not going to enter there because there is all this discussion about big data, what they are, how we can analyze it. Big data are a scam or not a scam? Can we really be precise if we don't have big data? What I do believe that is sometimes is a little bit a myth. So I do believe that, again, it's true that there are some companies, maybe 10, 12 on the world, and we are thinking about the Google, the Twitter, the Facebook, that they have big data because they collect really massive amount and they can be really precise in profiling you. So for other companies that they are in other business, obviously we do have a big amount of data, but it doesn't mean that not having, let's say, the same amount as Facebook can be an excuse of not using the data in a good way. And if you see the data that Twitter is collecting, for instance, they collect 8 terabytes per day, and I can't even think about the amount of it. But then what they really use is 30 gigabytes, so it means 0.5% of the data they collect. So it means that this small fraction of data is absolutely useful for getting insight that is something that you can apply as well for personalization. So again, the challenge is to make your huge amount of data or your amount of data small, and in which sense? Thanks to the framework, thanks to building KPI, building a way of analyzing them that is giving meaningful insight. And this is not only starting from the market research or the business intelligence. Again, I believe that is across teamwork, so getting input and feedback from different teams and being sure that the framework built is really applied as well for content marketing or product offers, so by the overall company. So that's all for today, and do you have any question?